Today we talk about you know what? Let's settle down. Let's just jump in. Fyre Festival, huh? Oof. Oh man! So I watched the Netflix documentary. Am I right? Am I right? And yikes! A lot of different thoughts I had. First of all, maybe the most hilarious part to me. Amazing editing on this part where they don't even show Ja Rule. They just show the entire like board of directors or whatever you want to call it, the lead team, and the camera just focused on them in a dead stare, just like, and you just hear, and the one guy on the conference call just like, guys, we committed fraud, and you just hear Ja Rule off camera be like, "It's not fraud. That's not fraud. That's not fraud. That's He's like thinking about it, thinking how to spin it. That's a false advertising. And then the camera has not moved off of that crowd. And then moment of silence, cut, next scene. That was the most hilarious part of the documentary to me. Hilarious in a sad way, obviously. Very sad turn of events. But I was just so fascinated, man. I just sat there thinking, holy crap, man. This Billy guy scares me. Because I know people like this. I've met several people like this who... What makes it so scary about people like this is that I don't even know that they know what they're doing in terms of like, they clearly know what they're doing as far as like steps they're taking to make things happen, but I don't fully think they understand the gravity of like how they are negatively impacting lives until it is too late. Up until that point, I have a sense that these personalities really feel in their core being that what they're doing is fine, what they're doing is right, what they're doing is going to be good. And you got to hand it to the guy. I mean, one piece of evidence to support that is the fact that he wasn't simply swindling. It's not like he was setting up, all these fake PR moves and fake photos and stuff, and then promising nothing. Like, clearly he was trying to make something happen. Otherwise, why would you go through all the effort of getting at least relief tents and reorganizing an island and blah, 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 blah. The minute they got kicked off that first Pablo Escobar island, you would think, yo, I kind of fucked up, but fuck it, I'm trying to scam people, so who gives a shit? We already got the initial PR-ish with the models and all that. It eat what it eat, whatever, Because I got that sense from the second fraud, when after he got arrested, and came out on bail and was clearly trying to, recover. And the best thing he knows how to do is scam. So, to do that whole NYC private venture shit, which was all clearly scam. Like, clearly he has no tickets. Clearly he has no say in getting people this exclusive access. Yet he, was still promising it and went through a different person to kind of hide it, slide under the radar. So clearly you see that hint of like evil there, right? But then bring it back to the Fyre Festival, and like clearly he was trying to like make it happen in that very short a time, which was just super stupid. And just the delusion on top of just that type of personality, man. Like I said, I've met people like this who just, they don't fully grasp that they are out of reality, and this could negatively impact people. And I've met people who innocently do this, where they'll just like say something to say something, and it makes no sense. It's clearly a lie because I know them very well, or I think I know them very well. At least I know them better than what the lie they're telling another person I hear them talking to. But the kicker for me is always that sometimes those lies literally do nothing for not only that person, but the person they're talking to. Is just like one of these innocent white lies that just didn't need to be a white lie. It's one thing to lie to not hurt someone's feelings, or lie for good, or lie because you think it's good, or whatever. But it's another to just, you lied just to lie. Like, there was no reason to lie, honestly. But anyway, what are you gonna do? But yeah, that was the other fascinating factor to me, is not only all that, but like that personality, for whatever reason, also can somehow really manipulate people. And it's almost a good manipulation in that they clearly speak to a core of a human being to be able to get them to buy into a dream, buy into this delusional thing that sometimes you need to be delusional to make shit happen. The iPod, before it came out, could you ever imagine a world where like a little block this thin could hold literally every song ever. It's just like you need to have delusional thoughts sometimes to pull off incredible feats. So that's why it's not totally out of the realm of impossibility to believe that these people in his core group of a team that he put together for this Fyre-ish came together and rallied around him to make it happen. But it was very clear to me, and again, I wasn't there. I'm not, the heat of battle has resolved, so who's to say, like, what did he? But I don't know. The kicker for me, and when I would have started asking questions, is when there's no payroll, I'm not getting paid. All my friends and colleagues that are in this together are not getting paid. We're seeing all these shady things happen, and we're not addressing it still. And every time we go to Billy, he's not addressing it. That's shady. And then to add to that, you're going to come to me and ask me to put hundreds of thousands of dollars of personal debt on my personal credit card for this issue? Nah, cuz. Fuck out of here. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of writing on the wall, if you will. But man, at some point too, I imagine it reached a point where there was like a point of no return, buyer's remorse type of ish, where like you've invested too much into something, time wise, money wise, effort wise, reputation wise, where like you just can't pull out. And actually, that was another interesting thing that I kind of picked up on, is I wonder if he was that smart enough to realize, like, if he were to cancel, he would owe refunds, because that's what he promised on these contracts with the investors and whatnot. And clearly at the time, he probably wasn't even thinking about that in that delusional state, just being like, yo, we gonna pull this off, because like, who gives a fuck, just write whatever in there. And then the same way, he would just keep saying things just to say them, like, oh, we're gonna be refunding, we're gonna be doing this, villas are gonna be built, don't worry about it, box of keys is lost, data. It's like, it just boggles my mind sometimes. Like, I just have a hard time saying something so drastically not true, saying things my ass can't check, saying things to cash a check my ass can't bounce, or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was fascinating. I gotta hand it to him though, man. He nailed the head of the nail on the head in terms of, like, he did the most obvious thing to do, which is target influencers with a sheep mentality crowd following and just take advantage of them. And that is not cool, man. And it's not cool from several perspectives. One, it's not cool for the influencers' perspective, because they clearly don't do the due diligence. And why would you really, right? Like, you're getting offered hundreds of thousands of dollars just to post a photo. Like, like, it is what it is. But like, you forget, I think sometimes, especially as you get that huge, that bigly, that every little thing you do could have a super negative impact on a certain group of individuals who just blindly follow you into oblivion. And it's not cool. Not to say it was malicious on the model's perspective, for example, because what the fuck do they know, man? Like you're just putting on this modeling gig, and I think they got paid, right? So they got paid, they came down, they did a promo video, and then peace, bye. Like, they had no relation to the Fyre Festival. This was months before everyone realized that issue was going downhill. At that point, they probably still thought they could pull it off as both a team and from external people looking in. But yeah, man, just the extraordinary balls to just straight up lie, falsify documents. Like, it's another thing to like lie to somebody in person. It's another to just be like, yo, yeah, I own $1 bajillion in Facebook stock, even though it is documented I only own like 1,000 shares or $1,500 worth of Facebook stock. It's like, bro. And just the way this guy could just keep pulling in money, man. It just goes to show, man, good-looking people can pull off a lot of ish. Being well-spoken can really pull a veil over people's eyes, or at least let you pass by as a wolf in sheep's clothing. Yeah, nailed it. Because people just don't pay attention. I've noticed this too with my whole social media journey. It's just like, people really aren't paying all that much attention, man. Like, you're in your own head because you're putting in all this effort to put something out into the world. But people are just consuming that and then moving on to the next consumption after just being done consuming something before they consume what you put out there. And you may not stand out all that much. And frankly, why should you? You're just a regular person, just like everybody else, right? So unless it's sensational, unless it's extraordinary, unless it's something super weird or out there or super polarizing, it's like, that's why it doesn't catch people's attention, is like, we are just bombarded with all this ish. So he checked all the boxes, dotted all the I's and the T's, and day, and here he is. So I don't want to keep rambling about it because I feel like I've run out of points to make. But yeah, man, super scary that people like that exist in this world, and they, they do those kinds of things, and almost to a fault, not of their own, because I don't know that they even fully fucking realize in their own heads what they're doing is evil. It is evil, Crazy. Anyway, yeah, I just wanted to express my thoughts on it. It is what it is, Just trying to enjoy this lovely winterized view. Cedar Rapids, Iowa. But yeah, let's keep it moving. More on the way. Peace.